what you gonna do, brother?
Oh, yeah!
Woo! What? What?
If you smell what the rock...
You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
What's up, everybody? It's Around the Turnbuckle. I'm the Big Alboski. He is Professor Keith. It's Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Our guest will be here momentarily. But until then, Keith, I want to remind everybody, because I am pumped. I don't know about you, but I'm excited that next Saturday, if you look right down on the bottom of your screen, is the 24th. Today's the 17th, Saturday the 24th, which means the Legends of Hamburg Fan Fest at the Hamburg Fieldhouse from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Get your tickets at www.legendsofhamburg.com. The list has grown so big, I can't even mention it. Legendsofhamburg.com, and you get all the prices, all the lists. It's $15 general admission. It's $20 if you want the general admission, plus the tickets to the wrestling event by Outbreak Wrestling afterwards at 6 o'clock. Speaking of Outbreak, Keith, Mark Mest and a couple of surprise guests will be joining us tomorrow on 6 o'clock on Sunday. So we're very much looking forward to that and meeting up with Mark, our old friend, right, Keith?
Yep, it's always a good time when Mark's here.
It was a great time when Mark's here, yes. How about last night's SmackDown? Brett Brown in the house. What's up, Brett? Yes.
Hey, Brett.
I will say that I actually watched SmackDown for the sheer curiosity of what it's like to see fans on WWE TV again. And I must say, boy, did they come, man. It was Houston, Texas. They were rocking. They were rolling. There was 14,000 strong. And, man, when Edge came out, and that's the thing. I know you're going to say, well, it's bad that Edge is the biggest pop of the night because that means they haven't done anything with anybody else. But that's a whole nother show.
I mean, not necessarily. You know, Edge is Edge. You're always going to have the guys like that are always going to be – the legends are always going to be the legends. It would just be – it's just a bad thing when I feel like when you say biggest pop of the night, you mean like everybody else was here and right. Edge was way above.
Yes, but he's a legend, man. He's a legend. It's the same thing if Austin or The Rock or Cena comes out when you haven't seen it. Undertaker, when you haven't seen these guys in a while, they miss them.
I know, but I feel like, you know, yes, they're always going to be on a different level, but you don't want the decibel level to be like, oh, that guy. Holy shit, here's this guy. Yeah.
No, well, see, the thing is, they knew he was coming out. They knew he was coming out. He still got a big pop, so it was really cool to see fans. Bianca Belair versus for the title, for Carmella for the title was actually a pretty decent match. Carmella has really worked on her craft and this new character she's got going on right now. Almost everything's new about Carmella if you haven't taken notice, Keith.
No, I noticed.
Okay.
Yeah, Carmella's worked really hard. It's night and day from where she is now to where she was just a year ago. You know, you got to give her credit. She's worked on getting better, and she's definitely gotten a lot better than she was.
Well, our guest is CCW's own Nicco Grey. He is having internet difficulties. Some storms have passed through. So we're going to give Nicco as much time as he needs, man. And Keith and I could talk all night. That's the way this goes on Around the Turnbuckle. Nicco Grey from CCW, and he's been wrestling in other places lately, and he's getting booked more lately, and that's great news for him. But in the meantime, while he's trying to iron out those bugs, Keith and I will talk as we normally do. Great to see Brett Brown, man. Glad. Yes, I saw a lot, Keith. I saw tons and tons and tons of Facebook posts by both professional wrestlers and promoters and enthusiasts about how excited they were to turn on SmackDown just to hear fan reactions. I mean, even if they're good, bad, or indifferent. They were good, they were bad, they were indifferent, they booed, they cheered. it was just great to see the fans again.
Yeah, I think no matter what you feel like about anybody's product at this point, it's just nice to be able to get back to normal in wrestling. It's good that the guys are getting more bookings. It's good that the fans are being able to go to the shows. You know, I hear AEW is doing very well with their NYC debut. The tickets are moving briskly.
Man, tickets are selling at all live events. All right. Joining us now, CCW's own Nicco Grey. What's up, Nico?
Hey guys, can you
How
hear
are
me?
you? I
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can-
you just fine.
Oh man, the week I had. So
Go ahead.
it's like I had stuff planned and then they all fell through. So it's one thing after another, right?
Yeah, you
That's
gotta
the
look
way
good.
it's the way it goes, bud. So, before we get into like where you got into wrestling in the first place, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a huge shout out to your boy Theo Ivory for pointing you in our direction.
Mhm.
Tell us about how you met him and your relationship with the Tea Time champion, Keith.
Uh, so I met Theo Ivory 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago, and it was just like, okay, let's see what this guy has. And he impressed me. The British accent, which I thought was a shoot at first, but it turned out
Right.
it was,
So did I.
because you look at Theo and it's like, this guy's got to be from New York or New
Yeah.
Jersey or something, but no, straight up like born in Britain. And I'm like, holy shit. So sorry if I curse and everything. I'm a bastard son, so
No,
if you have
We cursed too.
yeah. You guys have any
listen,
questions with that?
we
I'll get into
are
detail
on
about that.
YouTube and we are on YouTube and we are rated for adults, so you're good, man.
My man.
All right, so take us back to that moment, because each wrestler that we've interviewed has that moment where you fell in love with professional wrestling. When did that happen?
So my mom was single at the time, and she was dating my now stepdad, who I proclaim as my real father.
Good.
I remember me and him were hanging out, and all of a sudden, this pay-per-view called King of the Ring comes on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was The Undertaker versus Mankind Hell in a Cell match.
Oh boy, it's a hell of a one to
And
get in.
yeah, the one moment. So, I'm sorry. Look, there we go.
You're good.
Me and him were just watching. We're just eating pizza, and this is like my first time seeing the WWF like on TV. As soon as they started climbing up the cage, I turned to him and was like, "What are they gonna do?" And he's like, "I have no idea, but it seems like something's about to happen." As soon as I saw Undertaker threw Mankind off the cage, I cursed for the first time. I fell in love with professional wrestling. And I'm like, holy shit, that was amazing.
Right.
And then I looked at him again, he's like, is he dead? And my dad's busting up laughing and everything, because he has watched this stuff before. He has seen Mick Foley before, Mankind, and he's like, he'll be all right and everything. So
that's a hell of a moment to fall in love with professional wrestling, Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's also that was the second moment that I fell in love with professional wrestling that actually made me want to do wrestling.
Okay.
Was Sami Callihan versus Adam Cole for the CZW Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Okay.
And at that time, Sami Callihan was my idol and still is my idol. I was a really chubby kid. I weighed 240 pounds.
Wow.
And and I trimmed up then, but if that guy can lose all that weight and be 5'7", then I can do it too.
Right. So you got into wrestling at what age and who trained you?
So my Mine was a little different, like everybody else. I started late. I started right around 22.
Okay.
First, I went to Jakara. Biggest
Right.
mistake of my life. Like, I did the whole class thing. I looked
Mhm.
around, met a couple good guys there,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of it, I just looked around. I'm like, this is not the place for me, and it's a cult.
Right.
And this is like my personal experiences. If you have good experiences with Jakara, good on you. I'm just going by my experiences and what I have endured.
Right.
Sure.
So then, and so then I took like a couple months off, went to New York Comic Con. I just remember looking out the hotel window and just I was watching one of the CZW shows, and I saw the guys I met at Jakara on a CZW show. I texted immediately. It's like, what the hell, man? Like, what's going on? Where are you guys at? I got my tryout within 10 minutes. The next day, I showed up to CZW for a tryout, and I passed it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you get to CCW. So who's the head trainer there?
Head trainer at that time was Joe Gacy, Preacher,
Mm-hmm.
and DJ Hyde. So, now I'm we have the CZW Tag Team Champions, the rep as the trainers, and Gabby Gilbert for the girls and everything too.
Right.
Mm.
Who's that one?
But-
I saw some of your matches from 2020. Because I know during the pandemic you did a lot of TV taping stuff because there wasn't any crowds going on. You did a lot of that. Who is that one? Who is that one female referee that looked like, I swear to God, 20 pounds soaking wet and probably like 16 years old?
Oh, 15, Lulu. She's one of our students.
Okay, I was curious.
And the funny part is, after she's seen me wrestle before at Dojo Wars,
Yeah.
and she's like, I want to be a professional wrestler because my favorite wrestler is Nicco Grey. So
Wow.
I'm the reason why she got into professional wrestling.
That's a compliment.
Which is
That's gotta feel awesome to inspire somebody
Right.
to do this like you were inspired.
Yeah.
What's up, Dad? How are you? My dad checking in. All right, so Nicco Grey, CCW. So you've been wrestling for CCW for a couple of years now, but you have been venturing out to other places, right?
Yes.
Have you been getting booked a lot more lately?
I'm getting my name out there right now. Yeah, 2020 was the year when the cuffs came off. Like, I was ready to go. I was ready to go on the main roster.
Right.
And then the pandemic hit, and it's like that momentum slowed down.
Right. For a lot of guys, too.
Yeah. I actually made a couple of connections before it all happened. I had a couple of dark matches at Pro Wrestling Magic. I've been helping out with them too. I've been doing ring crew with them. I've been doing stuff with, can't really say and everything because we want to keep everything on the hush hush and everything. I've been going up to New York lately. I've been doing stuff with Matt Tremont down with H2O.
Oh, so, cool.
Yeah.
I know H2O now. Now, originally, correct me if I'm wrong, are you from Birdsboro, PA? Because that's not too far away from me.
Yeah, I was born in Reading, but I currently live in Birdsboro right now.
Yeah, because I work for hers, and I used to deliver to Birdsboro all the time. I'd be at Boyer's, I'd be at Turkey Hill, Vinny's Pizza, Birdsboro. Nice little town, Birdsboro.
It's nice.
He cut in and out there.
Sorry,
all right, so
yeah,
it's all good, man. It's all good. So things are starting to pick up now that the pandemic is starting to loosen up. Then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, I know.
It's just getting the name out there. I've been working on. Sorry, it's been a rough day and everything, but
It's okay, man.
yeah,
Take your time.
Okay, thanks. I've been getting T-shirts together. I've been getting graphic designs together. I've been working on promos throughout the entire week. It's about when to pull the trigger at the right moment. So you'll probably see it within the next upcoming weeks and everything.
You got something. Yeah, you got something coming up that you want to promote?
Just keep your eye out on CZW. Just keep your eye out on Pro Wrestling Magic. But I will definitely be at Triple WA on the 24th.
There you go.
I may have some unfinished business with a certain three-way champion.
Ooh.
I did get that feeling.
And since I'm from the most ultra-violent company in the world, I think I need to insert myself into the U.S. hardcore title picture, too.
You know, that was something I was going to ask about, because we've been getting more familiar with you through Triple WA, and you're one of those guys that I've been watching, and kind of like Greg the Mechanic Manual, I look at you and I'm like, there's something about this guy that I just feel like you get in the right program, you get the right opponent, maybe they give you some mic time, and something's going to happen. You come to the ring with this look, and it gives me this vibe like he's got something.
It's like an it factor, right, Keith?
Yeah, and you just need that one thing. Maybe it's the right opponent. Maybe it's the right match. Maybe it's a promo. You know, and I think you're hitting on it right now. Is like you've got to find your niche within the company, and I think once you do that, you're going to turn some heads and you're going to surprise some people.
But Keith, not to interrupt
you, but something about you that just draws the eye and it draws the attention.
Not to interrupt you, Keith, but he specifically mentioned the United States Hardcore title, and the United States Hardcore title is currently held by JT Cage, is it not?
You know it is. He won't let us forget it. Not even for one single solitary second that he is the United States.
That's the kind of division that'd be up Nicco Grey's alley, I'd say.
I think so. I think JT would have his hands full if Nicco decides to focus his efforts there.
I'm buying a ticket.
Okay. What happened at the 41st anniversary show was pathetic. Pathetic. You call that hardcore? That looked more like child's play.
Sing it, brother.
It's. I am so fascinated how this guy, like, not to step on any toes, but I'm that kind of guy that likes to make people uncomfortable, that likes to step on toes, that'll get into your face, and I am very, very blunt. So, here's the thing. JT, you have something that I want. Something that I represent, and that might be at Tournament of Death next year. So, just to put that in your mind, JT.
I believe
I bleed black and yellow.
He frequently watches this program, not necessarily live, but he frequently watches this show, so I'm pretty sure he'll get that message.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's kind of like Beetlejuice. If you say his name 3 times,
he pops up.
With Hat Guy?
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you your thoughts on him. How do you feel about the Hat Guy? Do you know the history of him? Do you know where he's from?
Yeah. I can make him feel old in a heartbeat. My stepfather would go to ECW shows and he would see him in front row.
All the time.
Yep.
All the time. When I see old ECW footage with him in the front row, and sometimes Joey Styles will allude to him, I'm like, I can't even, like, the fact that I know him now the way I know him now, and then looking at him then, he was a baby at those ECW shows.
Yeah. Sometimes I watch old ECW shows as inspiration. I also found out, like, during a couple of shows, I can't remember off the top of my head, that I would see my father on one of the stands. I was like, oh, hey, there you are, Dad. So, yeah, my goal is to, I know it's called the 2-300 Arena now. My goal is to, in event Cage or Death or any kind of wrestling show that goes there, he's sitting in front row, I'm in the ring, and I just think that'll come full circle because my first CZW show was at the 2-300 Arena.
Right.
So if you think about it, the timeline is my dad went to ECW shows at the 2-300 Arena.
Right.
My first show was at the 2-300 Arena. So then all of a sudden, you get to see your son perform at the 2-300 Arena. Like, what more can you ask for about that?
You can't. I mean, that's awesome, man. So tell us about that first match at the old, I call it the old ECW Arena.
So the first match was Joe Gacy versus Mike Speedball Bailey for the Wire title. Mm-hmm. And I got, and I was shouting CZ Dub. My dad was looking at me like, these guys are nuts.
The fan base is crazy, right? Yes.
You have no idea. Especially when it comes to, like, collecting weapons and everything.
Right.
And I just look at the mass pile of weapons that we get, and I'm like, this can honestly kill someone. Like, my God.
So would you classify yourself as a brawler, hardcore type guy, or do you want to not be painted with that brush?
No doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt. I cannot. I'm classified as a junior heavyweight. I'd rather be a junior heavyweight brawler than a guy that could do, 20 flips in a row and everything. And I'll just stand there. It's like, are you done? And then clothesline you. Because it's just so stupid and so amazing that you're no-selling moves and doing 20 flips, but then as soon as you hit a super kick, you have to go down or no-sell it.
Right.
Come on.
So I got a question for you, Keith, because Keith, this is probably our first in a long time, if not straight up hardcore wrestler, right? Are you a fan or not a fan of deathmatch tournaments?
I am a fan.
You're a fan?
Yeah, I'm trying. Well, I'm trying to get new blood back into CZW.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no offense, I respect every single deathmatch wrestler that has come through those doors.
Sure.
But you kind of get tired of seeing the same old faces over and over and over again. Like, if you have two guys that have been going at it and every match is a hardcore match with no build up, just like here, a hardcore match. That's it. Make a story out of it. Build up.
That's up your alley then.
Oh, I agree. I mean, especially in cases like that, I agree with you 100%. Going back even to what you were saying a minute or two ago with the super kicks and stuff, if you're going to take it to that level, like Matt Hardy always said, everybody's got a finite amount of bumps in them. So if you're going to take the bumps from, a weapon shot, a light tube, a kendo stick, something like that, make it count. Make the audience come on that journey with you. Don't just do it because, oh, I'm wrestling, Joe Blow over here, and that's just what was on the board tonight, is that we're supposed to go out there and kill each other. Like, no, make that a story. Make the most money you can for that, and the way you're going to do that is you've got to have a story that the audience is going to get into. You can't just do it because that's where we are, that's where we work, that's what was on the board tonight, so we're just going to go through the motions. And it's like, but you're going through the motions and you're killing each other, and you're not getting the most out of that stuff. You can only do that for so long.
Yeah, and it gets boring and stale.
Right.
So, I enjoy deathmatch tournaments and deathmatch matches, story behind it, you know, and not just for the sake of having a hardcore match,
Right.
you know. Sorry, I had to let my cat out. So
No, man, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so
I'm this weekend myself.
name some of your influences as far as like big name, maybe, and I'm guessing some hardcore legends maybe that might have influenced you and influenced some of the things you do now.
So obviously Mick Foley,
Sure.
you know, as again pioneer, probably one of the godfathers of hardcore deathmatch wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Hyde, I got throw his name out there because you know he's my trainer and everything.
Right.
Just the sheer amount of punishment that man could take, and I just want to have that moment where he takes cinder blocks to the head. I'm like, and this is how crazy I am. I say, hey DJ, give me a cinder block to the head. Well, I just see.
Think I'm
Matt Dreamont, because I helped the guy out. I basically helped the guy out, pulled him out, barbed wire and everything. Such a good dude. He's looking out for like future death match opponents and everything. John Moxley, of course, Sammy,
John Moxley,
Joe Gacy, all done death matches at everything. Yeah. And Darby Allin, just the kind of wrestling style he can do and everything.
He's
he can take
crazy,
punishment,
man.
but at the same time, he can also do like hardcore matches. And
Yo,
I kind of know his name's kind of controversial and everything, but Jimmy Havoc from Progress.
Oh, Jimmy
Because
Havoc, yeah.
Like he was, yeah. But yeah, all those guys, amazing.
Darby Allin, Keith, I saw earlier today footage from a house show. Where he took a bump off the top ropes, like through what looked like a casket, basically. And he broke the casket inside, like he fell on the casket and the door broke this way and he disappeared inside it. So, you know what I mean? So, I mean, they were just for like 5 minutes. There was like, for 2 minutes, there was a holy shit chant. For another 2 minutes after that, there was a Darby Allin chant. And then they started with the "This is awesome," and there was a guy taking the video with his phone.
Mm-hmm.
And he's commentating what he's seeing. And he's like, oh my God, they love Darby Allin because Darby Allin will do anything to entertain us. Anything with his body. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, that kind of effort, even for house shows when you're not on TV, I respect it to the utmost. I respect all these guys that put their bodies on the line for our entertainment. That's why I've loved it for 40 years. But as far as the hardcore guys go, like Mr. Grey down here, it's a whole nother level. It's crazy what you guys do to yourselves. You have to have a little bit of crazy in there. Am I wrong or wrong?
You don't know the half of it. Do not know the half of it.
I don't know the half of it.
Because I mean, let's try to get into that a little bit, because I'm always fascinated by that. Like, can you put your finger on like what draws you to do that, to say to yourself, like, not only do I want to wrestle, but I want to wrestle in this style where I want to get hit with cinder blocks. I want to use weapons. I know CZWs use light tubes and things like that. Like, can you kind of put your finger on what it is in your personality that says that sounds like a good time to me?
I don't really know. I can't put my finger on it. Just the sheer joy of me doing hardcore matches sounds like me in a candy shop. I guess I was just tired. Well, I guess with me growing up in the 90s and everything, just having stuff around me, what was going on at the time,
Right.
and watching classic WWF in 1999,
Right.
where they had the hardcore title, where they were adults only and everything. Like, hey,
PG era.
we're getting all these college kids watching and everything. I think it was that kind of magic that pulled me into hardcore matches and everything. And that's just the type of style I like, and that's what I grew up on.
Yeah, Dad, these guys are absolutely crazy. And if you don't believe me, go check out some CCW on YouTube. It's available on YouTube. Keith, it wasn't hard to find matches from this guy. You go to CCW on YouTube, and he's all over it, and so are anybody he also competes with.
Well, yeah, I mean, there were 2 or 3 major companies that kind of came out of Philadelphia and came out of the ashes of ECW going down, and ROH. Everybody knows ROH, and ROH gets a lot of press for that, and I mean, rightfully so. But CZW also, kind of went in a different direction, where ROH said, okay, we're going to do more of the Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, that kind of classic style, and CZW was like, we're here to fill the niche for the violence. We're here to take the tables and the fire and all of that stuff and do like more of that and maybe take it even to another level, which unfortunately, few people were doing that. And I know that led to at one point the State Athletic Commission cracking down in Philadelphia for a little while there.
Oh, wow.
I had a friend that
I hadn't heard that.
For WXW. Oh, yeah, and he talked to me one time about, I don't think he was at the commission meeting, but he knew somebody that was at the commission meeting. And I mean, they went nuts. They tore everybody up and they were like, here is a list of things you are not allowed to do. You need to have a doctor here at the shows or we're shutting you down. The fire marshal needs to check your capacities or we're shutting you down. Like, they got ridiculous. And I think 3 or 4 different promotions wound up going out of business because they just could not adhere to these rules because they were sick of it, because too many people were trying to outdo each other and were running on top of each other and trying to run each other out of business. It was a bad moment there for a while. So I mean, I give CZW a lot of credit that they were able to come through that, because I'm sure a lot of those edicts were aimed at them and aimed at trying to hurt them, and you got to give them a lot of credit. They've had some turmoil the past few years with ownership and stuff, but they've come through it, and they've come through it because of guys like Nicco that were fans that said, I'm a fan of this, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to carry the flag, and I'm going to carry the banner, and I'm here through and through. This is my company.
They have a die-hard fan base, Keith.
They do. They do.
I've met some people that come over from Japan, Germany, Mexico, just for Tournament of Death and Cage of Death. Those are like their vacations. It's nuts.
Unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if Nicco Grey could book himself against any wrestler alive, dead, or retired, or still wrestling, who would that be and why? And I'm guaranteeing you, Keith, it's some sort of hardcore match.
Oh, what gave it away?
Lucky guess.
As you can tell, I'm very blunt.
Mm-hmm.
But there's 2 type of matches that I would probably book myself in.
Yeah.
First one would be Jon Moxley versus Nicco Grey, an exploding death match. And
one that
I can guarantee you, I could put on a better match than Kenny fucking Omega.
I agree with
Because
that, Keith.
I'm sorry, that was pathetic.
Yeah.
A shit show.
Right.
Yeah, at
All
the risk of being canceled by the
life.
internet, seems to me
Be
anything
fucking serious
Kenny Omega
for
touches turns to
once.
shit.
Yeah. Where's New
You're
Japan
not.
Pro Wrestling Kenny Omega that was going to come over to the United States and do that? You are nothing but a clown.
Man,
That's
it's starting to sound.
number one.
He said John Moxley. I'm starting to think that him and Omega would have a fight. I'm just saying.
I think it might be a shoot. But no, I agree with him, and I think unfortunately what we're seeing is the power of the New Japan office to kind of take a guy and save himself from his own bad ideas and get the most out of him while kind of tamping down his worst instincts. Because it just seems to me like Kenny's one of those guys that when you let him have free reign, he shoots himself in the foot. He can't seem to help himself.
Yeah.
So John Moxley
Then
is
the second match.
yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I said John Moxley was the first one. Well, had a second one in mind.
And just a straight up wrestling match against Sami Callihan. And if he wins, probably for the Impact title. So, just a normal match and a death match. Exploding death match or whatever. Hell, it could be a TLC match and the ladder could be wrapped up in barbed wire and we would have to climb up the ladder in barbed wire.
Ow. All right, so most hardcore guys don't have a finish. They just beat the other guy senseless until he's done. Do you have a finish? Have you worked on one?
Well, I'm working on a couple, but my go-to one is Code Breaker and a Brainbuster.
Okay.
Because I like dumping guys on their head and not getting up and me winning a match.
That's
like maybe I'll do that to JT and take his title.
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Or your boy Miami, and I'll pick him up, give him a brainbuster, and sorry Theo, I love you, but on Theo Ivory.
Damn.
3 goddamn kicks and I couldn't kick out of that motherfucker.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was there. I was live watching that match. Miami is coming into his own. I got to give the guy credit. And he's got a huge match coming up on the 25th of September against Matt Cardona. So, I mean, the dude's got a lot on his mind.
I'll be sitting front row eating popcorn but then if he wins, I'll just look at like, okay, all right, you impressed me. That's it.
I doubt highly he'll win, but I hope he does. I'll be rooting for him, sure.
He's been on a hot streak lately.
I know. I'm not doubting it. I'm not doubting his talent, Keith. I'm not doubting his talent. You know what I mean? But Cardona's making basically a tour, and he's booked. He's wrestling like 1 or 2 matches a weekend for the next 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
That is also a goal I want to.
Whoa! Time. Nicco Grey. You said his name too many times.
Oh God.
Merrick Miami says, "Damn, that's crazy. If I recall, it was me pinning your shoulders to the mat. I don't have to impress you," he says.
You stole the pin. That's all I have to say.
You stole the pin.
A pin. I'd rather be pinned by Theo than you.
Wow. I wonder when he'd pop up, Keith. We were mentioning Cage, but then he starts mentioning Miami, and poof, like
Yeah,
some kind of magic dust.
I forgot. Miami has a similar rule. You
He
say his name
appears.
too many times.
It's the Beetlejuice rule, Keith.
Mhm.
It's unbelievable.
Man,
Yeah,
you guys
man,
have
Miami.
the Beetlejuice rule a lot, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, you mentioned his name enough, and he shows up. That was kind of what happened there. Well, go ahead. He's watching. Do you have any words for Miami now that you know?
I don't have to say anything.
Nothing?
He knows.
I took advantage. You can't tell me that you wouldn't have done the same.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Tell you what, man, Keith, I'm ready to see that one again.
Yeah, I feel like we're stirring it up tonight.
Do you like that division in Triple WA, Nicco Grey? Do you like the idea that the belt has to be defended in triple threat matches?
I think it's amazing.
Or two
I
out
think
of
it's a
three
great
falls?
idea. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's a good one too. I like that division. I really do. And Miami we saw Miami, evolve into Miami, and I'm proud and happy for him. But for you guys, for you and Theo in there with him, it was good camaraderie there between the three of you, and I'd love to see it again. I hope it happens again, Keith.
I'm sure it will.
Hey, you never know. And you know why? It's something different. It's something that you can bring to the table and add, like, show off more guys.
Right.
Every company has a unique belt, has a unique style, and that's what they bring to the table. That's all.
What is your opinion of your boy Theo Ivory's Tea Time Championship?
Please. 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 If I ever win that title, the We Want Wrestling Tea Time Championship.
Yes.
You know what I'm going to do to it? I'm going to make it my own bling. And it's going to be the goddamn Coffee Hour or the Gray Hour title. I'm going to deck out in barbed wire, whiskey bottles, caps, maybe a crushed can.
Ow.
You never know.
I really hope Theo is not watching this, because I just feel like if he hears all that.
Oh, I kind of hope he is. That's me. I kind of hope he is.
Well, he isn't right. If I walk down the street and then you would have to close your blinds and everything. But this ugly mug got a fiance, all right? So. And don't ask me how.
Did you say you have a fiance? Did you say you have a fiance? Is that new?
No, 5 years.
Oh well, congrats.
Congratulations.
I've not been able
We
to
are
find
going to
put up
Vegas.
with me for 5 years.
You're gonna go to Vegas.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Vegas. Me and her family, my family, just core members, and then we're all gonna come back here and have a giant party in October.
Fun, man. That's awesome. Way to go.
Thank you.
Sounds like a good time to me, Keith.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Maybe I'll pop up in some promotions in Nevada if it happens. So you never know.
Where can people follow you if they want to see what you've done, or if they want to follow you on? You have Instagram, Twitter, any of that?
Yes, I do. It is called Bastard Son 93 on both Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at Nicco Grey on Facebook. That's a fan page. I'm on Twitter. I try to stay off of it just with bullshit and everything, but every time it pulls me back in.
Right.
So I'm trying to post positive stuff and everything. Instagram I'm more active on, and I'm gonna try to go on. Excuse me. Be more active on my Facebook page. Like it's kind of like I'm doing it, then I fall out of not doing it and everything. Like like
Right.
you want to be around stuff that you're comfortable doing. And I've been doing Facebook and Instagram longer than Twitter. Because I hate it. I hate it so much. But we have to. We have to
So-
have it to promote and everything.
Yes, you do. Unfortunately, this business, I mean, Keith and I are learning the hard way. We've been doing this show for a year, and self-promotion is key. Promotion is key. I can't say that enough.
Yeah. But if you want to book Nicco Grey on a show to spread a little anarchy, chaos, make some of the guys uncomfortable,
There you go.
and just have them look. It's like, what am I watching right now? And I'm terrified. Go to book Nicco Grey at Outlook.com. So
there it is. There it is, Keith. All right. So, and if they want to see any of your old footage, they can check you out on We Want Wrestling. They can check you out on ZCW, right?
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have a hard
I'll
time finding you. I literally went to YouTube. I searched Nicco Grey Wrestling, and a whole bunch of matches popped up. You're not hard to find.
I'm glad that name came up, because my old name I despise, and you'll never find it ever again.
You buried it.
You buried it.
Oh,
We
you
don't
have
even-
no idea. I buried that. I buried my entire first career of that.
Well, I'll tell you what. So, if you want to see this guy wrestle again, he did mention that if you're in the Pennsylvania area and New Jersey, he's going to be at Triple WA in Quakertown on July 24th in some aspect. So if you want to check out Nicco Grey there, he will be there live. Keith and I, unfortunately, will not be. We will be at the Legends of Wrestling Fan Fest on in Hamburg.
I already had the kids destroy me over this. They're mad. They're hooked on
I'm
Triple
hurt.
WA. And now
You'd
we've
rather
heard
go
from
see
those
Theo
news.
Ivory, but not come see me?
No, that's not true.
I'm hurt.
We're at almost every single Triple WA show, and they know that.
Yeah.
But that particular day is the Legends of Hamburg Fan Fest. That's been scrolling across the bottom of my screen there. For tickets of information on that, go to www.legendsofhamburg.com. We are hoping to meet some, you mentioned ECW earlier, some ECW legends will be at hand. Also, guys like Mount of the South, Jimmy Hart, Cowboy Bob Orton, among others. We were invited by the proprietor of that event, and we will actually have a table there. We'll be selling Around the Turnbuckle t-shirts as well as some other merchandise, and we'll be handing out flyers. We'll also be doing on-the-spot interviews. So come see us. Come see us in Hamburg on July 24th.
And of course, if you can't do that, why not go to Triple WA and see
And
what
if you're in the
mayhem
Quakertown
Nicco Grey
area,
is
just
gonna
go
show up.
straight to Quakertown, and you'll find Nicco Grey and Merrick Miami and JT Cage and Theo Ivory and the champion Tony Batista as well.
Try not to destroy
I
Cage
tell you
and
what.
and
I'll tell you what about Tony Batista.
Oh,
The guy can go. The guy can go.
He can.
And
Yes, he
thank
can.
God. Like, I don't know the other Brit dude's name, but how many years has he held that belt?
3 years.
No, seriously, how many?
No, it was.
Yeah.
3 years champion. And Keith, I have reached out to him, and he may or may not be a guest on this show soon.
He's mad about the Muffin Man song, isn't he?
He's not mad about the Muffin Man.
Okay, because the kids loved it.
Okay.
I'm still getting requests to sing it for no reason. Do that song you did, to the guy?
Yeah. So, Nicco Grey, we're going to let you out of here. Is there anything else you'd like to add or maybe ask us?
So, okay. Number one, thanks for having me. I wouldn't
Our pleasure.
mind coming back on here again. You know, just to shoot the shit, or if you want to check in on some stuff.
Absolutely.
So, are you guys a fan of hardcore wrestling? And would you ever mosey your way down into New Jersey for a CZW show?
Well, number one, we both are hardcore wrestling fans. Number two, Keith himself lives in New Jersey. And number three, I wouldn't mind seeing a CCW show with Keith. Hell freaking yeah.
I will tell you this, though. You might want to get soon as tickets or whatever pops up for our next event, you might want to go.
Right.
There's a lot of young talent that has busted your ass for a year. We stay quiet for a year.
Yep.
As soon as we tweeted something that said soon, we were the most talked promotion for 72 hours.
Right.
So you might want to come down and see the show, because I guarantee you're going to have one hell of a time.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that for a second. I did attend one time. I was because I'm 45 years old, so I did go down with my cousin Kyle to ECW Arena and thank you, and caught a live ECW show right there at ECW Arena in Philly. So I did get a chance to experience that. CCW has that cult following just like ECW did, and yeah, I've been a part of that crowd. So yeah, I feel right at home there. Keith, I know Keith is a huge fan, so I know that he'd have a ball if we went to CCW show down there, or Jersey for that matter.
Cool. Looking forward to it. So,
what was that questions? Again? I didn't hear you, man.
Oh, cool. Appreciate it. See you guys there and everything. If you guys want to ask me anything else, or just head out.
No, I didn't. I want you to repeat what you said at the end, because I didn't hear any of it.
Oh, okay. No, appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And cool. I looking forward to seeing you guys down there if you ever mosey your way down in New Jersey.
Yes.
And as for a certain Triple WA, I am coming for that U.S. hardcore title.
Damn.
Love that passion.
Hear that, Mr. Cage? Hear that, Mr. Cage?
You know, he was complaining about, well, I don't have opponents, I don't have competition. Now you do.
He's got competition. He's got a big target.
Oh. You do child's play, Mr. Cage. I come from the fucking promotion that put death matches on the map, that have been in Japan, Mexico, Great Britain.
Facts.
And you say you need opponents.
Didn't he say something about an open challenge on the 24th, if I remember correctly?
Don't put words in his mouth. Nicco said he's coming.
I just thought that's what I heard from him say.
We do not speak for JT Cage, but I'll tell you one thing. Now you make
here's another thing. Here is another thing for JT. How about you leave Hat Guy in the back and prove yourself you're a man and defend that title like your mouth says? All right?
Man.
Because I can back this up. Let's see if you can.
Our guest has been Nicco Grey from CCW. You can catch him at Quaker Town on July 24th. You can catch 6 o'clock. Nicco, thanks, man, brother. Appreciate it. Definitely.
Hey, no problem, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
There he goes, Nicco Grey. Keith?
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the guy that if he brings that passion on the microphone, there's no stopping him.
There is. I
no
agree.
stopping
I
back.
agree wholeheartedly. And if he does come face to face with JT Cage, I wouldn't want to be JT Cage. That's just me.
I don't think it's if. I think
All
it's
right.
when.
Keith and I will be back tomorrow night, guys, 6 o'clock, our normal time slot on Sunday, 6 o'clock. We will be with Outbreak Wrestling in full force with Mean Mark Mast, as well as a few surprise guests. We'll be talking a whole lot about that Legends of Hamburg Professional Wrestling Fan Fest on July 24th. The wife has been crazy making some stuff, Keith. She's making Around the Turnbuckle merch that we're going to be selling there, right there live. We're also going to be at a table. Come see us. Come have a professional wrestler. If you're a promoter, you want to come and just shoot the shit about wrestling, come check us out on at the Hamburg Field House while you're walking around the Fan Fest and meeting some of your favorite stars and legends. Come check us out. We're going to be right there live. What was that?
Come meet us too.
Yeah, come meet us too. Who the hell are we? You want this t-shirt? You want this t-shirt? Come see us. Plus, the wife's been making some other stuff too, Keith. And I can't wait. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good day. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody and seeing everybody out there. It's going to be a good time had by all. And then tomorrow night, we'll talk to Mark about that. We'll talk to Mark about how Outbreak Wrestling is finally back in front of their fans at the Hamburg Field House in an event that they're calling Alive at Last, and no better title for that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we're behind Mark. Mark, we can't wait to see you tomorrow, brother. I hope you're watching. If you're not watching live, I know you're going to be watching later on. Me and Mark Best. Shout outs to my dad for chiming in. Shout outs to Merrick, Miami for chiming in. Shout outs to Brett Brown and everybody else who chimed in tonight. And a big shout out to Nicco Grey. It was a pleasure talking to Nicco Grey, and we wish him nothing but the best, Keith. And we'll see everybody tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. See you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you gonna do, brother? Oh yeah! Woo! What? If you smell what the rock